In some ways, the French education system varies from those in other countries. In this video, we will go over some of those differences. That way, when you arrive for your studies, you're not surprised at how different it is from your home country. We will explain the types of diplomas you can earn, the availability of free universities, the French grading system and exams, international exchange and course timetables, and finally, some useful bonus tips for you. So stay tuned until the end and remember to subscribe to our channel for tips and guides on studying and living in France. Types of diplomas and degrees. Only because French people like to make things complicated. Some French diplomas and degrees are different than those earned in other countries. Here, we will compare some of the most common diplomas and how they are similar to those in other countries. The French education system, like much of the rest of Europe, operates on the LMD system. This stands for licence, master, doctorate. However, there are a number of other diplomas and degrees with complicated names that can be confusing for foreigners. So I will explain them all one by one. But first, let me briefly explain how LMD system works in France. The first term you should know is baccalauréat, or shortly, Bac. Bac is the degree you need to have in order to be able to start your bachelor degree or licence in French. Normally in France, they count your level of studies by adding the years of your university studies to your Bac. For example, a bachelor degree or licence is known as Bac plus 3 or Bac plus 4. Unlike some other countries where a bachelor degree takes 4 years normally, earning a licence generally takes 6 semesters or 3 years in France. A master's degree is awarded after an additional 2-year period of study following a licence. The master's degree program is split into 2 years. The first year is called M1 in France. This year is composed of lectures with little time to focus on research. The second year, or M2, involves some classes, plus the time for students to focus on their research and thesis while doing an internship in a company, which looks like fun, but is not going to be easy. What I love about France is that it is possible to directly enter an M2 and get your master's degree in only 1 year if you have done a 4 years bachelor degree in your country. So when applying to programs, if you see M1, it means it's going to be 2 years degree, and if you see M2, it means it's going to be a 1-year intensive program. And finally, a doctorate is awarded after a period of a total of 8 years of university studies after your Bac, or a minimum of 3 years after your master's. However, it usually takes an additional 1 to 2 years to get that PhD degree and become a depressed PhD job seeker. Now, here are some of the names of degrees and diplomas and their level that you might need to know. 1. Diplôme universitaire, otherwise known as a DU, is similar to a vocational degree in other countries. These are generally 1 or 2 year technology-oriented degrees, and they are Bac plus 2 levels. Universities often offer university degrees, DU, or inter-university degrees, IUDs. 2. Diplôme national. National degrees are awarded accreditation from national institutes. A DNL is a bachelor degree and is a Bac plus 3 or a Bac plus 4 level. Here is a list of all levels of studies and diplomas attributed in France that you might need to know. Free universities in France. For some countries, the idea of free or almost free education is mind-blowing. But this is not merely a pipe dream in France if you're a resident of the European Economic Area, EEA, or Switzerland. Studying at a public university is next to nothing. If you are a resident of the European Economic Area, tuition at a public university breaks down to the following. If you are a non-European student, the fees are higher since 2020 in most public universities. Yet, many still will be more affordable than your home country. These tuition fees are as you see on the screen. However, some universities are exempt from the new law and apply national fees for international students as well, which means almost free. You can get the list of these universities from our website, franceuni.com. I will leave the link below. Although there are many programs offered at the many free universities around France, depending on the course you wish to take, you may still be looking at a private university. They are less affordable, but still worth considering if you want to get your degree from a specific university in a specific field. There are some great perks to these free universities. These include having no student debt. However, these schools do tend to have smaller budgets and can sometimes lack the funding a university gets. Sometimes, but not always. This filters down to teacher quality, equipment needed for courses, and classes offered. French grading system. The French grading system is quite different than you might be used to. In French universities, you are not graded on a letter scale. Instead, it's on a number scale, from 0 to 20, with 10 considered the pass-fail level. Here we have provided the basic grading system, so you get a basic feel of it. A grade of 20 is considered to be perfect and is almost never awarded. When you ask them why, they will answer, "Only God can get 20 out of 20. You better not ask them questions like, "Why should God take your exam?" or "Is this grading system made for gods or humans?" Additionally, 18 or 19 are also very rarely awarded. Most of the time, a 16 is considered excellent. However, in some fields, this score may be a 14. To compare it to letter grades, a 14 or 15.9 would be an A, with a 16 to 20 being an A+. The B scale starts at 12 and goes to 13.9. C's are 10 to 11.9, and below 10 is fail, or F. The number scale may be confusing for those used to letter grades, because your score may not be at the top of the number scale, but it's still a great grade. Exams. Regarding exams, they sound like they could be scary, but in reality they shouldn't be, because there's very little chance someone would fail as long as they're present in all classes. Normally, you would have 2 exams per subject. An oral exam during the semester, which is a presentation by yourself or with a classmate in front of the whole class, which will count for 40% of the grade, and a final written exam for the other 60%. Some subjects don't require an exam at all and are graded based on continuous assessment, and some professors ask for essays or projects and grade you on that. Remember, not to expect more than 15 or 16, even if you think you deserved a 20, and usually expect between 11 to 14. International exchanges. Most French universities offer an international exchange program, known as Erasmus. If you are accepted into the program, you can choose to go on to an exchange for 1 semester or an entire year. These programs are available at both private and free universities. Even if you are sent to a private university through your free university, you will not need to pay tuition, as your free university will cover the costs. This opportunity alone may make the exchange program worth it for you. Moreover, France hosts over 300,000 foreign students every year, which makes the atmosphere of universities to be international and welcoming. Course timetables. Perhaps one of the different things about the French education system as compared to the rest of the world is their school timetables. For a normal program, you may attend up to 24 hours of classes per week. But for an intense program such as M2, you will need to attend up to 40 hours per week, and even more. I personally know people who had classes from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for some weeks. So I strongly recommend for you to inform yourself of the timetable of the program you want to apply for. It's also essential to know that you do not choose your classes in French universities. You choose your major and which course, and then the class timetable is set for you. Students coming from other countries may find this odd, as in other countries, you're free to choose which classes you would like. However, in the course program, each course timetable is laid out for you, so there will be no surprises. All right, now before I share the bonus tips, I invite you to subscribe to this channel and like the video if it was helpful. Please share your opinion about the French education system with us in the comments. It's really important for us and allows us to come up with new ideas. Now the bonus tips. 1. You won't be given the title of master's by doing only the first year of master's degree or M1. However, if you validate an M1, you will be given a certificate that allows you to do only the second year of master's whenever you want and get your degree. Or even do your M2 in another field, which is somehow related to your M1. 2. Watch our video about pros and cons of studying in France to get a whole lot of other useful information and tips that you will definitely need to know before starting to study in France. Lastly, please note that this list is not all-inclusive. Our aim in this video was to prepare you to expect a different study environment than you're used to. If you go in expecting change, the culture shock of studying in a new country will be lessened.